Hey everybody,
Notification
what's
volume
going
0%.
on?
Stop recording button.
Super Blind Man here, of course. I'm going to
Attempt
share
volume
with you a
5%.
little something I just realized with my system here. And this is about that Kimber Cable PK10 Ascent power cable that I just purchased. Now, to begin with, I had this on my receiver, and that was definitely a good place for it. It showed me that you really can get some improvement with a power cable. As a matter of fact, it was openness and dynamics and just harmonics like I had never really heard before. And that was a lot more than I had expected. But here's something else. I have the PS Audio power plant. And this has been a fantastic unit. I mean, it has. Again, I've reviewed it twice. I'm not going to go over anything like that. But what I can tell you is that I decided to move that PK10 power cable from the PS Audio to the receiver to going from the wall to the PS Audio. And the differences were dramatic. Now, I had to put the 12 gauge power cable that I had on the PS Audio from there to the receiver. It's not quite the best, and now I am definitely longing for that openness. So therefore, I do intend on getting another PK10 power cable, just to be clear. But here's the crazy thing. As soon as I did this, as soon as I put that cable from the wall to the PS Audio, I started getting noticeably more output, ridiculous output from that PS Audio. And by that I mean just power flow, obviously, because it would seem, I've got absolutely everything in my system hooked to that PS Audio. Okay, so my TV, my excuse me, woo, baby, my two front speakers here, bless me, my fruit hunt, my two front speakers here, my golden ears, okay, my Triton refs here, and my Xbox, my router and modem, okay, and the receiver are all hooked in to that PS Audio. Instantly, kaboom, okay? I had to just now, I'm going, why is there so much bass coming out of these puppies, okay, out of the T-refs? Because the power going to them was increased dramatically. It must be. So I had to come up here and adjust these and actually turn them down. As a matter of fact, I've had problems with output with these when they're hooked to the PS Audio, because I just figure, it's because of draw. Obviously, there's too much pulling on the PS Audio. Now, I thought it did not have the capability to run all this. Man, was I wrong, okay? Not only does everything have more power, but it has power to the point where I had to come up here and turn these down dramatically, quite a ways. As a matter of fact, they were over on the back of there. If you look up the back of the T-Ref, there's a volume knob. The volume knob is all the way down when it's basically pointing at the negative of the speaker terminal. I had these turned up to being well past the, probably well past the LFE input. Okay, so about a third of the way up. I had to turn these down to almost past a quarter down. So they're not even a quarter up, is what I'm trying to say. That's dramatic. Dramatic. I've never had that problem with these speakers. Them having too much bass has not been quite a problem since I've had them. I mean, if I plug them into the wall, they're okay, and I notice I have to turn them down. But I don't want to plug them into the wall. They're expensive. I don't want them to blow out, right? And, me have to replace the amp or something. So, if a lightning strike or whatever other electrical event comes along is all I'm saying. So I was shocked, absolutely shocked, because I've never heard that kind of output from them in the bass section, at least just in my apartment and in my setup as it is so far. That was crazy, crazy output. So all of a sudden, boom, I mean, they're just, they're hitting hard. They've got dynamics and punch that wasn't quite happening before. Of course, they're great, and they've had dynamic and punch and articulation and all of that. Okay, no problems there. This just really made it all stand out a lot more than it ever had in my system. So that's cool. I thought I would share that with you. Again, I told you in my last video I was kind of experimenting with these and trying to figure out where that PK10 power cable would be best used until I get another one. Well, I figured it out. Whew. And I'm telling you, everything really operates a lot cleaner. The PS Audio's fan has not kicked on, like at all, since I've had that cable plugged into it. So clearly this other cable, even at 12 gauge, is kind of choking off its capabilities. And that shocked me, to be honest with you. That was a dramatic wake-up call there. So yeah, that's interesting. But again, there is a noticeable, palpable difference between the two power cables, even the 12 gauge and that PK10. I do fully intend to grab another PK10 to go from there to my receiver, because I'm already missing that beautiful openness and clarity that I was getting. Oh man, just rich. I noticed that the mid-ranges really stood out a lot sharper than they were before. When I put any of these other cables back on that receiver, even the one it came with, I kind of get the mid-range, like vocals most especially, okay? Just kind of blending back into everything else a little bit more. But with that cable, all of a sudden, voices really popped out from the sound field like they should. I was noticing also a lot, besides obviously depth. I was getting a good bit of depth. In recordings, especially high-res recordings, sounded phenomenal, and very deep like they should. And you could hear a lot more of the the kind of decay that you would hear off in the distance, cascading off from cymbals and snare hits and things like that. Just, again, a dramatic change, very dramatic. I wasn't expecting that much. I thought maybe it'd be subtle, but no, that was a pretty big change. Matter of fact, that's got me feeling for another cable so that I can put one to the receiver again and have that openness back, because the 12 gauge cable is not quite getting there. It does sound good. Don't get me wrong. It's good, but it's not fantastic, and I want fantastic back. So I do intend on getting another one of these. Again, Kimber Cable's PK10 Ascent series cable is the one that I purchased. It's a great cable. Grab it. It's going to make a difference. If you have a power conditioner, put it to that and tell me that everything hooked to it doesn't just really pop with dynamics, and it really helps to have these pieces that are connected to it be able to pull a little bit more from it, and for it obviously to pull more from the wall. And so it really helps with pop and snap and all of your dynamics. So it's really woke the system up, and I was amazed. I didn't realize it was not as alive as I thought it was. And man, it is now. So either way, I thought I'd throw this video at you. A little experimentation with the Kimber Cable PK10 Ascent series power cable. I've loved it. Pick one up. I highly recommend it. I love Kimber Cable. Want to send a shout out to them. Please hit that like and subscribe button because I love you guys. I love doing this content and I appreciate your support. You guys are awesome. So have a great day. Thank you. And of course, keep aspiring. Keep dreaming, keep improving your system. You're going to love it. Thank you.